Hi there, welcome to The Nation and thanks for joining us right on the show, of course, on Bernama TV. I'm Jessie Chahel and today we are discussing something that of course concerns the nation as well. Besides just looking at it from a health aspect, we're talking about yoga as a sporting event perhaps. And it was really interesting over the weekend. We just saw that a wonderful event had happened and it was called rather organized by the Malaysian Yoga Sports Association, and over the weekend it was the 24th World Amateur Yoga Sports Championship that took place right here in Kuala Lumpur over a period of 3 days. Now I have a couple of guests in the studio with me, but firstly my first guest for today is Master Lingham, the President and Founder of the Malaysian Yoga Sports Association. Welcome, sir, to the show.
Good afternoon, welcome. Thank you.
Thank you for being with us today. And of course we see all these wonderful medals and award. It was a championship that just happened over the weekend.
Yes.
Do bring us up to speed with how it went and what it was all about.
Well, this is an historical benchmark for all of us to have this event taking place here. Malaysian Yoga Sports only started about 2 years ago in 2013, August only. We have been registered and being fully supported by the Ministry of Youth and Sports, backed up by Ministry of Health, backed up by Ministry of Education, and a few bodies, governmental bodies. There has been an advisor, as well as Tan Sri M. Dr. Jagadisan, Uncle Kuala Singham. They all have been a very strong background, pillars to us. And to host this 24th World Yoga Sports Championship, it was a challenge. It was a challenge to bring the countries together.
And I understand there's so many countries involved, from India to Singapore, Thailand, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Peru, Russia, Vietnam, Ukraine, Hong Kong, Iran, Taiwan, Korea, the list goes on.
Yes, yes. You see, you get a chance to see just not asanas or yoga postures being performed. The way it's being going into posture, coming out of posture, posing into the posture. You know, the stira and shuka. Stira means what? Stability and firmness in holding something. Yeah, and shuka means pleasure, relaxation, calmness, balance. Everything is exhibited right on stage in front of you. World-class performance. World-class performance. Yeah, and all those who came, it was just a yoga feast for them for all 3 days, because we had several categories. You know, we have the basic fundamental yoga sanam, where you just come and do the 7 postures out of 24 given postures. And then we have the artistic solo, artistic pair, dance solo, dance pair, rhythmic yoga. So everything has got the ingredients and guidelines in the way the judging system has been done, you know, timing and everything. So this is the ancient science with medical modern science with sports. Yeah, it's a combination of all these 3 great sciences together. That's the amazing thing, you know, to bring the sports. Sports element means what? You win or you lose. It's always the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat. And we have seen this on stage itself. You know, when they fell off the posture, immediately tears were just running down. You know, and this is what we, you know, the feeling of competition is all about. So yoga transformed into a high level performance, where today it's called yoga sports. And yoga sports has been in the country since 1989, but it is growing slowly. So the theme of the whole play is Awaken Yoga Sports Malaysia.
Awaken Yoga Sports Malaysia. Indeed, it was definitely alive and kicking, especially over the weekend. Now, of course, it's in its 24th year. How did this idea come about? And of course, you've had this great success over the last 24 years. How has it been? And you said it was a challenge, especially this year as well.
Yeah, see, you know, for small things, small mission to do, you take a few people to run. But this is a big, huge cost work. Yeah. Then naturally you need an organization to move along, which supported by International Yoga Federation, International Yoga Sports Federation, Asian Yoga Federation, especially Ashokji Agarwal and Indu Agarwal. You know, they have been the pillar behind the movement of the International Yoga Federation. Thanks to Swami Maitrananda and Swami Lakshmi ji for them to give us the permission to host this championship, because they knew about me and what we do. I was just telling them that whatever we need to do, my guru always tells me, Swami Shantananda Saraswati, Thambi, when you do something, it must be amicably done, beautifully done. So keeping his advice, it will be a great challenge to host this, to give the boost, to open up the eye of those who are not aware of what's happening around them. Because you see, everybody feels that yoga is calm, composure, and must be in a quiet place and everything. No. The practice of yoga only comes when you are in the midst of chaos. When you are in the midst of chaos, how do you control yourself, detach and be free from all these circumstances? Yeah, awakening the inner power, Achintya Shakti and Chaitanya Shakti. Two powers. In yoga, we have this inner hidden power, and in human being also we have this hidden power. So the Achintya Shakti in the Yoga Sanam gets into the person, awakens the energy, life force in the person. So the theme is awaken yoga in you.
That is amazing, because like you said so correctly, we always see it from a very calm
spiritual,
perspective,
religious manner. No, you may remove the religious aspect of somebody, for people who don't believe in religion or what, but you cannot remove the spirituality of somebody, because they believe in themselves, right? They believe in something. So that is all, and the Prime Minister have said, Sajiva Sahati, Sahati Sajiva, one soul, one heart coming together. That's yoga. Because the very word yoga means coming together, perpaduan. Unity. It's about unity and harmony. Our country needs that. We need this unity. This education of unity, harmony, working together, respect from young age, from grassroots age. So we came up, okay, let's have amateur. Let's open up this category to amateur and let them know what is this great science all about, because they are the building blocks of our future. Therefore, human excellence, therefore nation building. So we set them right at this age, get them. We are not about quantity, we are about quality. So the fittest will survive. That's what Darwin says. So in this World Yoga's Championship, the fittest, the cream of the crop came here.
And that is, of course, amazing. We saw so many countries came together to honor, celebrate, of course, yoga as a sport, but taking it a notch higher. Very creatively, like you mentioned, there were, sort of dances and giving yoga a new face, perhaps.
Yes, new face, a new breath to the entire practice. Because in the scriptures also, it has clearly written, if a human being wants to excel and move forward, transcend to a higher level of life and realization, they need to go through certain step. So we have dance yoga, natya yoga, we have nada yoga, we have laya yoga, which is the hatha yoga itself, the asanas and all. Then we have swara yoga, the art of breathing. In yoga we say the body, the king of the body is the senses. The king of the senses is the mind. The king of the mind is your breath. Without breath, nothing is there. So the breath has been given the main emphasis here. And you can see how the yoga postures, with the control of the breath, they get into the posture and out of the posture. Amazingly done. So I'm proud to host this. I'm excited still, tirelessly. We pulled through this whole event, and it is an historical step.
It is
what we have done
Indeed. Let's talk a little bit about Malaysia's achievements.
Wow.
How did we fare in
I must
the
say
event?
Malaysia boleh. I'm serious. Why? Because you see, in Malaysia, everybody is having their own practices. Yeah. And yoga sports, well, who doesn't love sports? Sports is an activity loved by everybody. Even the last few pages of press, they give importance. Now, every press and media gives importance, but yoga, no, not much. So we have brought that into yoga sports. So we have got a kind of recognition here now. You know, lately for the last 1 month, many press conference has been done, and they have been given an amazing write-up on yoga sports. And you find that our Malaysians, even they were not confident earlier. I was telling them, look, you can awaken the power, and the most important thing is is guidance, the right guidance. If they got the right guidance, the right practice, the right formula to do the asana, they can achieve, they will win. So I told them, don't worry, you are in good hands. You are with us, Malaysian Yoga Sport Association. You're with us. Why? Because we know the secrets of how to teach this art to them. Even our Minister of Health, Dr. Subramaniam, he was impressed. He was impressed. He just asked, how long have they been practicing? I said, 6 months. What? 6 months? Impossible. Yes, 6 months. Some of them 3 months. Some of them 1 year. They go through, they go through experience. Yeah, they need to go through some kind of exposure for them to give them the inner confidence.
And that boost to go out there. Of course, here we see some images on the screen.
Unbelievable asanas performed by, she's Tiloshini. Yeah, and she's one of our stars, the yoga sports superstars. And this time she won 4 medals.
Amazing.
Amazing, So
at
the
what
family,
age is that?
She's only about 11 years old.
So
so at this age when they have become in the limelight, and we had a song by Michael Jackson also, the late Michael Jackson, ABC was also performed,
through yoga,
through
poses,
artistic pair.
yes.
Yeah, and so it was amazing because music is universal. We embrace everything. Even though you take different path and everything, in Malaysian yoga, we embrace all. Yoga sports is for everyone to practice.
Of course, you are very enthusiastic about yoga naturally, very passionate about that. How did you get started in yoga, and how has it changed or improved your life?
I was born into a family of dance and music. My great-great-grandfather, Mr. Doresami, he was an Ayurvedic doctor. Yeah, so maybe I believe some genes has been passed on to me. When I was born, I was into dance and music, and I was very naughty, always very lively, doing something, all these things. So my mother thought, okay, this guy is very lively, put him to dance and music. I was a Sportsman of the Year for St. John's Institution for 3 years. Yeah, 84, 83, 84, 85. So I do understand. I have also represented the country then, under 19 for Malaysia, being an athlete in the 400, 800 and 4x4. And also a professional classical dancer, also exposed to ballroom dancing, a maestro in Cuban salsa.
Amazing.
And I've got and ballet, jazz, modern dancing, and I also hold a double gold in the Latin American ballroom dancing, and also a classical musician.
On top of everything else.
Everything classical.
That's
musician.
Amazing. You're definitely an example that I think the whole nation would like to
and then
to
the
emulate
yoga
if
part
possible.
of it has always been the inner underlying current, current going on and on and on.
Well, Master, we don't have much time. We'd love to chat, but we have other guests coming on the show as well. We're taking a quick commercial break, but do stay tuned. We'll be right back with more on yoga and from our guests.
Yeah.
Bernama Today, a daily lifestyle morning variety talk show that touches on current topics in Malaysia and around the world. Also featuring compact interviews with guests from various backgrounds. Don't forget to tune in to channel 502 live from Mondays to Fridays. Kerjasama dua negara serumpun, Malaysia dan Indonesia. Hiburan, paparan budaya, dan gaya hidup menerusi Salam dari Kuala Lumpur. Setiap Isnin, 8.30 malam, hanya di Bernama TV.
And always I had body works like yoga.
Menyelami realiti, menjejaki masa, meninjau peristiwa, paparan kronikal kembara kehidupan, pelbagai keunikan juga pengalaman menarik. Segalanya disorotkan selama setengah jam dalam channel Bernama setiap Ahad jam 9.30 malam hanya di Bernama TV.
Hi there, welcome back to The Nation. We are of course still talking about yoga and how it can impact your life, and of course also a review of the 24th World Amateur Yoga Sports Championship that took place just over the weekend, Friday, Saturday and Sunday, right here in Kuala Lumpur. Many countries were in town competing for these medals that you see in front of us. And of course now my guest in the studio is someone who took part as well at the 24th World Amateur Yoga Sports Championship, Lady Luz Diaz from Peru. Welcome. Nice to meet you too.
Thank you. Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about your experience and how you got involved at the event that happened over the weekend.
Well, all start with the practice. I really love yoga in all kind of ways how you can practice, because it's the most better thing that you can do for the body and for the mind. And I love too the combination of these postures. When you are practicing regularly, you get really very good benefits in the body.
Mm-hmm.
And
of course you look very fit and fine, so it's
me.
all yoga, huh?
It's all yoga and other things too, but principally yoga keep your mind healthy and keep your positive point to work in your life and everything you do. That's the things I believe a lot. And that's the reason. This is the reason why I start to do with all these kind of events, and I could not say competitions. I always say participation, because right. I feel more as in that way better, to present what I can do, what I believe in yoga, and on all these kind of categories. I participated this weekend in this world competition.
Mm-hmm. And so you took part in, and I find this amazing, in all the categories that were there at the event.
Yes, in all, if I could, because I'm not the young girl.
Well, you look young. Yeah, definitely look young. But think about yoga as well is it keeps you young from inside, isn't it?
Yes, the mind, this inside part is the most important part that we can get not through the yoga practice. Really, that makes you really from the inside happy, even if today rains or today is maybe not the best day of your day, but if you have this inside attitude, and that you will have that through the yoga practice.
Through the yoga.
Yes,
So you can acquire those
completely.
Yeah,
completely
through yoga. That's those life skills, the attitude, the calmness, everything that comes, all the benefits that come with yoga.
Always, but you have a regular practice, and you are using that, and you believe in that too. I know it's difficult, but it's possible.
How did you come to discover yoga? Because across the globe on that side, you may assume that yoga is not popular, but of course it's a worldwide sensation, a worldwide hit as well. How did you come to learn about yoga?
My first time I learned yoga was when I was around 18 years. I was, after the school time, I decided to go to the theater school to be actress and singer, and everything else in my life was decided, and destiny was to be in the art. And through one of my workshops I did with dance, I knew a teacher. She was a dancer actually, and she was yoga teacher. And in her practice and in the workshop I did, she bring us the sun salutation.
Yeah.
And for me that was the first touch in yoga, and I like it a lot, the flow and everything in my age from 18 years, and I like it a lot. And after the workshop was finished, I continued doing that at home, but in my way, as a young girl and everything. And I was always in this kind of touch, not exactly with making practice of yoga, I said theater and dance, but too with this sequence of the sun salutation that was always behind me, and from there I started to move, with making other things, talk with the body, but always the yoga came back to me for another door. When I was doing dance here, again came back the opportunity to practice yoga, and in the way until I visit other classes and other courses everywhere in the world. More interesting to know about that. There are many different styles. I said yoga is only one. Yoga is only one, and I want to follow the yoga path, and this is the things push me to go everywhere where I am until here.
And to Malaysia as well, competing of course at the event. Now yoga, of course, what I understand speaking to you and Master Lingham earlier, that it's a lifelong experience.
Yes.
Life enriching experience, firstly. Secondly, you can practice it whenever, wherever, because no matter what you do in your life, yoga is a great advantage to have. You can have that on the side.
Yes.
Right? You can always have that. It complements your life.
Yes.
And so the benefits of yoga are truly amazing. And of course, the Malaysian Yoga Sports Association has organized this event so brilliantly. How was your experience at the event?
Wonderful. I'm totally happy I'm here. I'm totally happy. I reached and I knew so much people in this part of the world, and really have a good imagine of how all the other countries they do the things, and we move everybody here only because we love this.
Yes,
we
definitely
love this.
very inspiring as well.
Very inspiring to see all the categories, and especially the children, the junior, they are so really have so much fun doing the things, and to see the people involved in these things, there is nothing more important than to do that, and to be all together, and all this like a family really. It's really a very nice I could see this. I was feeling very, very good, very, very good.
Everyone's very positive.
Yes, very positive.
Encouraging as well.
Yes.
And all there for one good reason, which is ultimately yoga. Now, a lot of our viewers watching perhaps are also wondering, is it too late to start doing yoga?
Never is too late. Never is too late. After my presentations of my categories of yoga artistic and yoga dance, many women came to me and they say, oh, you were for me my inspiration. I think I want to do this, and do you think I can do that? Other person they tell me, yes, of course, everybody can do that. Just you need to go and to look for a good studio and come and just take a class and start with the first step. Is always the most important thing, and continue the next step. You know, it's one step after the other until if you want to be here with us next year, you know, so you have 1 year to practice and to prepare yourself. If
well,
you
that
like,
sounds like something you can put down for your 2016 New Year's resolution. Put down that, you know, to take part in the Malaysian Yoga Sports Association, in which they organized the 24th, or rather this year was the World Amateur Yoga Sports Championship, as they call it. Of course, we look forward to having you back next year. Would you encourage, kids as well to get involved in it at a young age? How do you see that it can benefit them?
Absolutely, very good. You know, kids they have so much time in. I said kids, they are there to do everything. You know, you need just push them or show them,
guide them,
you know,
yeah,
how you can invest the time, you know. And this is something I could encourage the parents, the relatives, no, that they inform, and they, instead of maybe too much football or too much computer or too much, I don't know, everything, they should once in a week maybe visit a yoga class. Then even if it's not for a competition, it's because they could keep the mind of the child, so the children, you know, in another way, focusing the life, maybe, you know. I think the children are the good base for a better future too, you know. If you have a good positive mind since a child, you know, and you get that through yoga, even not very conscious, because, you know, we grow up, you know, they could have really a better life in the future, you know, as a human.
I absolutely agree. There is other aspect of the human mind and body that we can give that focus to, that will really enrich our lives altogether. What about from a weight loss point of view?
In these days, I could say I lost 1 kilo.
Wow, yes. Just these past few days?
Yeah, just only these 2 days, because, you know, my preparation, you know, you need to repeat your sequence and everything, you know, you are going to be on the stage, you want to do the best of you can. And really, this, especially with the yoga practice in yoga asana category, is really perfect. But if you do yoga artistic and yoga dance, you will have really, you can shape your body really in a very good way. A very good way, you know. I can tell you, I have pain here, I have pain here, everything. And really, I saw in my body a little bit difference, you know, about this kind of yoga artistic and yoga dance that can shape your body really, and you can really get a good benefits in your shape and healthy and weight loss and everything.
And everything.
Everything,
right.
no, absolutely.
Everything.
Absolutely, because...
Well, Lady Luz, thank you so much for being on our show, and
thank you to you.
You really brightened it up completely, and an inspiration, of course, to all our viewers as well. And we hope that you'll come back, and
I'm going to come back for sure.
For sure, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Hopefully, some of our viewers will take up the challenge and also perhaps join you in the next round of the competition. Well, we're going to take a quick commercial break now, but we will be back and we'll be joined by our next guest. Do stay tuned.
Menyelami realiti, menjejaki masa, meninjau peristiwa, paparan kronikal kembara kehidupan, pelbagai keunikan, juga pengalaman menarik. Segalanya disorotkan selama setengah jam dalam channel Bernama setiap Ahad jam 9.30 malam hanya di Bernama TV.
kesan masa, mengupas isu semasa, jadi saluran pelbagai suara, segalanya baru dan benar di Berita Bernama TV.
Hi there, welcome back to The Nation. Thanks for being with us. Today we're talking about yoga and its great benefits, and of course the 24th World Amateur Yoga Sports Championship just got over this past weekend. And if you want to know how Malaysia scored, well, we came in second position with 5 gold medals, 7 silver and 2 bronze, and of course overall second position, like I said, out of 10 countries. Well, my guest in the studio right now is the very lovely Catey Hagar, all the way from USA, who took part in the competition for the first time. Catey, welcome to the show. How are you?
Thank you, I'm doing great.
How was the experience taking part, especially for the first time?
It was interesting. I thought I'd come and see what it was all about. We don't really have anything like that in America. So
and what's interesting as well is that you started yoga as a child at 11 years old. How did that happen?
My mother is a yoga teacher. She started teaching when I was young, so it's kind of become part of
who you are, right?
Yeah.
How do you think it's changed your life, yoga?
It's kind of like a church for me, I would say. It's just every part of everything that I do, it is impacted by doing yoga.
And so you practice yoga every day?
I wouldn't say every day.
Okay.
Lately I have been.
So when you took part in this competition, you know, of course there are so many people from different countries as well.
Yes.
Did you feel like, did you feel like, oh, this is something I'm so used to because I've been doing it since I was 11? Or did you still feel like nervous, oh God, I've got to compete?
A little bit. I used to do competitive dancing, so it's very similar, like performance sports. But yoga has never been a competitive thing. So like what Lady said, is very like participation.
Yeah,
you know,
and so this definitely gives a new spin to yoga and sort of infusing the artistic dancing part of it.
And
do tell us a bit about your routine, what it was like and how long it was.
Well, I used to be a modern dancer and I did ballet for 15 years. So I infused a lot of yoga poses and kind of acrobatic features into it.
Is that something you just sort of put together yourself?
Choreographed.
Yeah, choreographed on your own.
Yeah. So
and
awesome.
And so, like, you know, perhaps like a lot of your peers, they may not be into yoga. What would you say to them, sort of, to get them to practice yoga as well?
Well, what I always tell my friends, my mother has a 90-year-old woman in her class. She just started doing yoga. She had never done it before in her life.
And she's 90.
90 years old. And she couldn't touch her toes. She couldn't even sit up straight. And she has improved so much for the past year. She goes every single day. And I just tell them, you have no excuse.
You have no excuse. That's right. You have no excuse. And of course, here in Malaysia as well, we've got so many different, you know, yoga practitioners, yoga teachers, yoga associations, and this, I think, really makes it interesting. Like what Master Lingham said earlier, to really encourage people to you know, adopt the yoga practice.
Yes.
What is your favorite thing about yoga?
My favorite thing, I love the feeling after and during. My favorite thing, I love so much about it.
Everything about it.
Spiritual aspect as well, just the calming, and it just like opens up your mind.
And I think that's quite important. I think in this day and age, when everyone's sort of chasing things, right?
Yeah.
So you just need that sort of calming effect. Also, the health benefits are there. Overall, we've spoken about that quite a bit as well today. What's your plans after this when you go home? Or what's happening?
I'm actually living here doing a teacher training course,
right?
And I'm fortunate enough to experience this at the right time. So I'm going to be here for a little bit longer studying yoga, and then I go home. To
is the practice here very different from how it is back home? Are there similarities, or is there?
There are some similarities, and then there's some differences. You know, in the U.S. it's a lot more fitness based. And there isn't much like spiritual aspect. There's no meditation, not too much breathing. So it's really awesome to see that side of it as well. So.
To all our viewers there who are about your age watching, what would you say to them about embracing yoga?
What would I say to them? It's just great for everything, and that everyone deserves to take care of themselves in such a way, because it really is one of the best ways I've found.
Yeah, and like you said, there is really no age limit. You could be 90 or you could be 9, and you could, you know, get into the yoga practice. And what really motivated you to take part in the competition?
I just wanted to see what it was about. You know, I've done dance performances my whole life and competitive dancing, and I really wanted to see like what the India team and the capabilities of the human body, and it's really amazing what they can do.
Of course, it is amazing. Of course, dance is, if I could say that, your first love, perhaps.
Yes.
Are you doing anything else in dance on the side now?
No.
Just focusing on
Just
yoga.
on yoga.
Yeah. And what plans do you have? Do you want to open a yoga center?
Potentially yoga center. I've been teaching at a studio for the past 2 years, and I think it would be really awesome to open a center myself.
Well, of course, the event took place over the weekend, Friday, Saturday and Sunday, from the 18th till the 20th of December. What was the atmosphere like? How many people were there, and how were the judges?
The judges were great. There was a lot of energy in there, a lot of people, and there's always that competition, that spirit people get when they're competitive. They put so much energy into it. They're all, and that was really awesome to see.
And was it a big crowd?
Yeah, there was quite a big turnaround. Friday, people started figuring out and seeing what was actually going on, and Saturday, Sunday, huge crowd.
And how do you prepare yourself for this? Are you practicing every day, putting together different trainings?
Very intensive training, about 8 hours a day. 8
hours a day?
Yeah, for the month leading up to it. It was.
How do you do 8 hours a day? Do you do it 2 hours 4 times a day, or?
All at once, I would say, yeah.
That is intense. That's definitely intense. Well, there were so many different countries who were there. There were everyone from Korea to Vietnam, Ukraine, Russia, Peru, as we saw a lady come in, France, Sri Lanka, Iran, Taiwan, India, Singapore, Thailand, and even Bangladesh. Of course, our own Malaysian representatives at the 24th World Amateur Yoga Sports Championship. Well, we're going to take a little bit of a break now, but when we come back, I'll have my final guest in the studio, and we will wrap up about the event that happened, and of course talk a little bit more about yoga. Stay tuned.
Sebuah program kerjasama kantor berita Indonesia Antara dengan kantor berita Malaysia bernama kembali hadir menjumpai Anda.
headlines, illuminating visuals, everything right and now on Bernama News.
Hi there, welcome back to The Nation. My final guest in the studio with me today is the lovely Bama Rabindra Singh, who's joining us all the way from UAE. Welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks.
So you're also a yoga teacher, and of course you took part in the championship that happened as well.
Yes.
Do tell us a little bit about your yoga practice, when you started, and how long it's been.
I joined yoga 1989.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's become yoga like for me, my blood and breath. It's my passion.
Yeah.
So when I joined yoga, I just joined because to get just one prize, you know, because I never been into any sports like this. So then one day I visit my friend's house, I saw so many medals she won. Then I asked, from which game you won all these? She told, from yoga. Then I forced her to, please take me to yoga school. I really want to win at least one prize. So that became like for me like a motivation, you know. So when I joined, my teacher found me, I am a very flexible person. So they used to give me training 4 to 5 hours a day. So after joining 1 month, they immediately took me to the district level. There I won first prize. So
not just one prize, but the first prize. Yes.
From there my yoga journey starts. So from after that I've been to state level. There also I won gold medal. From after state level, I've been directly to the international level. There I won in women's section Yogi of the Meet award.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And then you started, of course, to go into yoga teaching. And you practice, you teach with your husband as well.
Yes. 1993 I started teaching.
And how has yoga made a difference to your life?
Because it changed my life, like physically, mentally, spiritually, and also emotionally. Mainly it cut down all the negativity. It brings more positivity and helps with more focusing things what I am doing. Like that.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the championship. How did you do at the event, and which categories did you take part in?
I took part in above 35 years age group. So there I won second place.
Second place, congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you. And my husband won third.
Okay, yay! You beat your husband.
And I took 2 more events in the same championship. In artistic yoga I won fourth place. That was a bit tough competition because it was above 18 years. So all young age group in the same age group. So in artistic
still did
I
very
won.
Well.
Yes, fourth,
place.
and in yoga dance I won sixth.
How is the artistic one different from the yoga dance? What is the difference?
In artistic yoga, there is not much dance movements. Like you need to hold each pose for 3 to 5 seconds, then move for the another pose, like this. In yoga dance means it involves dance, then yoga poses, like this.
Okay. So, is this your first time at the competition, or you've been here before as well?
To Malaysia?
Yes, for the championship.
World championship, I took many times part. Yeah.
And so you keep coming back, of course, to compete year in, year out. Why would you do that? Like some people who say, I've already competed 1 year, that's it, I'm not going to do any more.
No, to get more experience, you know, because I love to be a learner and also be a student, because till end, like till we die, there is always something to learn. So I like to be a student. So that's why I get more experience, and by that, you know, if we teachers keep coming for this kind of events, students will get motivation. So then they will come forward. That's the reason.
So you help inspire and motivate one another, of course. And now, you know, you've incorporated yoga into your life, and your husband practices it. So your life is very much centered around yoga. Plus, you also, of course, teach it. What kind of yogas do you teach?
I teach all type of yoga usually. Hatha yoga, power yoga, Ashtanga Vinyasa yoga, therapeutic yoga for patients, and prenatal yoga for pregnant ladies, postnatal yoga for after delivery.
Let's talk about that. Yoga, how important it is for, you know, for those who are, of course, pregnant, and like you said, postnatal. How does it help them?
During pregnancy, mom as well as the baby, like they are very tensed. So in yoga, it has like breathing part, some of the asanas part, which helps for easy delivery, and also keep mom and baby like more peaceful. So that's how it helps them also, like mentally, physically, spiritually, as well as emotionally. And
it's a great option because it's not vigorous, it's not strenuous on the body as well. Very calming poses, right?
Yes.
So a lot of what kind of poses are there for the
like usually we give focus more on the hip opening, and also like back and shoulder strengthening movements, because once the lady tummy getting bigger and bigger month wise, so our body like naturally like getting like curve because of the abdomen getting like a bigger. So we give like more shoulder opening, like back strengthening movements, which helps her with easy delivery also.
And it really does help at the end of the day,
100%
because
it
again
helps.
you're strengthening yourself from inside.
Yes.
As well. What about, I asked our previous guest as well, how important is it for children to introduce yoga at a young age?
Yeah. Usually we start yoga with the children when they reached 8, because breathing is very important to understand. So below 8, like for kids to understand breathing, it is a bit difficult. If we say inhale, they will do exhale. So once they reach 8, it is easy for them to understand the things properly. And when children practice this one children yoga, we call our animal yoga, we give name also, that one helps with their focusing point.
Especially
like
since with school and everything, right?
Yes, like they can focus more on their studies. It mainly sharpen their brains.
So anyone at any age can start doing yoga?
Yes, from 8 years till 100 years, there is no age limitation to do yoga. Not like other sports, like for example gym and other stuff. After certain age you have to stop, but yoga you no need to stop, because it is like you are sitting on one place, you are like doing proper breathing, stretching, relaxing. There is no harm from yoga.
And what's also great is you don't really need much equipment to say. You don't need to go to the gym. You can do it practically anywhere.
Yes, just you need one
mat.
yoga mat and a small place. That's it. Neat ventilated space you need. That's it. No need any equipments.
Well, there's so many types of yoga, the hatha, the power, the ashtanga. How do you pick the yoga that is right for you?
Like if there is a beginner, 101% I am suggesting them to be with the hatha yoga, because hatha yoga teaches you properly how to breathe, how to stretch, how to relax.
The basics.
Yes, because in hatha yoga we perform one posture. Before entering the other posture, we need to rest a bit, then we are moving into the other posture. In power yoga and ashtanga yoga, it is like you are moving from posture to postures. There is no relaxation in between the posture. At the end only you will get the relaxation.
It's flowing from one posture into the other.
It is like a bit intensive compared to hatha yoga.
Now, a lot of gyms here offer yoga, and sometimes people take it perhaps too seriously. What is the misconception about yoga when they go for yoga? They become perhaps, if I could use the word, too enthusiastic about it.
You mean?
You see, a lot of people practice yoga, but they perhaps forget the objective of yoga. They take it as too much into a sporting activity, but they forget to breathe and forget to relax.
Yes, that's what. When they are on the treadmill, they cannot focus how they are breathing. When you are running, you cannot focus. But when you are doing yoga, always instructor guide you. Inhale here, exhale here. When you are into the position, hold the position and keep breathing. We should not stop breathing. That's how it works on our respiratory system also.
Well, these days also, of course, with the internet and online videos, there's so many different poses we can learn on our own. Would you advise still having a teacher as a guide, or can we just read the books and do yoga on our own at home?
Better in the beginning be with a teacher who can guide you properly, who can give you proper alignment. See, if you are watching and doing, you don't know how is your position.
You don't know if you're even doing it right or wrong.
So better be with the teacher. So after like 1 year, 2 year, you can practice at home, like breathing, at least sun salutation, if you understand a bit. So when you do it in the proper way, you get 100% benefit. But if you are doing in the wrong way, there is a side effect also. So for that reason, better be with the teacher to learn properly.
To change our lifestyle to a more healthier lifestyle through yoga, perhaps even for those who have certain pains, which yoga can help cure. How often do you need to practice yoga?
Usually, once you join yoga, it is like a part of your life. It should be. Like even though if you don't have time, at least do 2 kind of breathing technique, 2 rounds of sun salutation. At least it makes a big difference. If people are so busy, we advise them to do at least 3 times a week.
3 times a week.
Yeah, alternate days at least they should do. Yeah.
Through your experience and your expertise, have you seen anyone's life change through yoga? For example, if they've had any kind of pains.
Yes.
Please share with us some stories.
In Dubai, I used to train one Russian girl. she is a chain smoker and also she has asthma. So I started teaching Ashtanga Vinyasa for her. So Ashtanga Vinyasa, it is a 1 hour 45 minutes practice to finish the whole sequence. It has like a particular breathing technique called thoracic breathing, which mainly works on the lungs. So she used to come every day. I was so surprised how she comes every day 2 hours. I checked with her, how come you're so interested in coming every day 2 hours for the Ashtanga Vinyasa class? She told, you know, it changed my life. Now I quit my smoking, and also she used to spray for asthma, you know, the medicine. So she's not using anymore. So I was so happy, at least it helped her, you know.
Definitely, it helped her cure her asthma, as well as she stopped a
smoking,
bad habit that can lead to so many other different issues. We spoke about those who are a bit older as well, taking up yoga at an older age. That is recommended?
Definitely, it helps. Like, we focus them not not to give very intensive poses. According to their age, we give mainly focusing on the breathing and a smooth kind of movements, like a joint movements and all, you know. So which helps them move properly.
And like for yourself, you know, there is yoga is such a an amazing art form. You can't know everything about yoga. So do you keep going on to get new certifications and updating your knowledge?
Yes, because there is always something to learn, new things every day. It comes, you know. So that's why whenever we get a holiday, like summer vacation or winter vacation, me and my husband, we go to different clubs or yoga centers to learn as a students. We never mention them, we are a teachers. We go as a student to get good experience.
How do you plan your classes so that everyone can follow? Because in your class you may have some who are a bit more advanced, some beginners.
Yes, like in a group class, usually we conduct classes in fitness first. There at one time we get 35 students, 30 students like this. So we handle the class by that, you know, even beginner, intermediate and advanced people can also comfortable in the classes like this. We give poses according to that. If it is a poses are intensive, we tell the new beginners do a 50% or 25%. We give option, you can do only this much, no problem. Like this.
And the thing about yoga is you don't have to push yourself. You don't have to meet any kind of speed or anything. You just do it at your own pace as far as your body can push you.
We always tell, listen to your body. There is no rush, you know. So when you breathe properly, when you hold longer, so then definitely you will get proper flexibility, you will reach into the position, proper position.
And now you are residing in UAE. How is yoga being adopted there? Of course, in India, where yoga is from, every other person might be aware and be doing it. What about UAE?
Even now we are getting very good response from the UAE people, because now they are much more conscious about health and everything. Of course, for Dubai ladies, they cannot come to the group classes, so we conduct ladies only classes. By that they are more comfortable to come and practice this.
And of course, there perhaps you'd have classes just for a certain age group, or a certain just for ladies or for men that's separated or together.
Especially only ladies we conduct for Dubai ladies, because they cannot come and do mixed classes with other they cannot come and take class with the men's. It should be only women's.
Sometimes we see, it can look a little bit like it could be painful, like the poses and the postures. Is it at all? Is it difficult to get to be able to do those poses?
No, by practice it becomes easier. Even though it is difficult in the beginning, by practice it gives a much difference.
Of course, through yoga as well, you'll have to you end up naturally making lifestyle changes. What about food?
Food, this is very important part. Even though you do a throughout the day exercise, but if you are not focusing and controlling your food, it won't help, dear. So we are not telling you have to cut down everything. Try to eat healthy, on time, that is my suggestion.
Yeah, that's right. On healthy, of course, but on time as well. A lot of times we forget to eat our meals at the time we're supposed to. We end up eating it at a later time, and that also can cause
yes, like if you don't get really time, so at least you can have some whole fruits with you. So by that, you know, you don't feel much hungry till you get your lunch. So if you feel too much hungry, if you give too much gap between breakfast and the lunch, so your quantity of the intake will be more. So that's why don't give too much gap in between the meals. So like make like 5 portions, 6 portions a day. So by that, you know, your appetite also increases and you will lose weight also. You don't put on weight.
That's right. That's the secret right there from our very own Bhama, who's a yoga teacher and of course very experienced, knowledgeable in yoga. Bhama, before we close today's show, what would you like to say to all our viewers regarding yoga?
Try to practice yoga which makes you healthy and happier in a positive way, and also it keeps you mentally, physically, spiritually and also emotionally fit.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for your time on the show today.
Thank you so much for you guys.
We hope that we've been able to convince you of the benefits of yoga, and to find out more information, of course, you can always go to the Facebook page where you can find more on Malaysia's Yoga Sports Association. That's facebook.com/Malaysian Yoga Sports Association, or facebook.com/Lingham Yoga Centrum. Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for joining us and have a great day ahead. Bye-bye.